Hello everybody, welcome to the first quarterfinal of the Blood Bowl 2 World Cup. Pretty cool. Mr. Light's Dwarves versus Spartako's Orcs. And it looks like the runner got dodge, AG4 dodge. Interesting. 2 rerolls each, but Spartako has leader, and of course Mr. Light bought the wizard. He had to buy the wizard. There was no other choice against Orcs that have more guard than you, and you know, I imagine a better coach. So there you go. No, Squirreldude, I don't really want a co-commentator, to be honest. I could get one of my real life friends to co-commentate, I guess. But I found that when Balsha and Fashbinder were on, I just found it distracted from the actual tacticalness of the match. So yeah, I guess he's going to do the same setups he did last time. I honestly don't think this is bad. I really don't. I don't think this is a bad setup. Thank you very much, Jelio. For the benefit of YouTube, Jelio said, Jimmy's the only streamer that can play Blood Bowl. That should be enough. Ah, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, dodge is obviously great in this matchup because he's got no tackle. So, you know, dodge adds quite a lot to his chances. But thank you very much. So yeah, one guard against 2, and then he's got 4 more strength in him as well. That's pretty brutal. Yeah, and he's got the reserves as well, so that if the Dwarfs dice him a bit, it shouldn't be too hard for him. Interesting that he didn't have these. Oh, of course he couldn't put him here because of the frenzy. He could have tried putting the guards here and the Black Orc there. But then I guess he could have just put a guard here and got him. So yeah, went with the inside, so we can't get blitzed very easily. Home for Auckland or Dwarfs? Well, it depends. First of all, my tiny life, I absolutely hate Dwarfs. So I will always be cheering on somebody who isn't Dwarfs. And second, but however, if I was in the World Cup, I would absolutely be cheering on the Dwarfs because A, they've just spent like 90k or something on this wizard, which means they obviously probably won't be able to afford a wizard next match. Spartako's got 80k in the bank, I think, so he'll be able to buy a wizard next match if he wants it. And I think he's got a better team and a better coach. So I've got no idea who picked for the toss because unfortunately you can't join. You can't tell. You don't get to join until they've made the coin toss and chosen. Unfortunately. Oof. It's not a replay, said the coach. It is actually live, but I don't have the little thing in the corner. No, I could have rewound to the start. All right, the Dwarfs picked. Thank you, Guinness. So the Dwarfs chose to receive. And that's what I'd do as well. I would choose to receive because offense is harder than defense. If he's more likely to have to use his 2 rerolls on offense. Whereas, so you want to have your opponent making his offensive drive in the second half, so that he's maybe out of rerolls for overtime. So that I would definitely choose to receive in this situation. I would say so, definitely, Jelio. From what I've seen, I would definitely agree that Spartako is the best coach left in the tournament. I can't imagine anybody being better than him, to be honest, seeing as I don't know who they are. So, unless they're some kind of anonymous monster. Oh, GFI? Why did he make that GFI? Is this the Garda? No, I don't know. Or to stop him, but he could get blitz with 2D anyway. I've got no idea why I made that GFI. Well, no, Sid the coach, I wouldn't say it would just be stupid to choose to kick. And often, I would choose to kick to use the wizard if it was just a normal match. I was just explaining that with overtime, that's why I think receiving is better. Yeah, but he could guard, and he's got a Black Orc if he wants to get 2 dice. He wasn't going to be able to stop the 2 dice, was he? I don't think it was worth GFIing there at all. Spartako setting up another block if it was a push. A 3 dice block, in fact, if it was a push. And also clearing out his blitzer to dodge away if he wants to. Or lineman even. It's not dodge away, you know what I mean. So, straight away he's playing. That is infinite. This first turn, he's gone for it to protect a blitz he wasn't going to make, so he's going to get this guy up without dodging. So. I think Spartako would have chosen to receive just to get the wizard out of the way, So I think it's quite likely that the Dwarfs chose to receive. Of course, of course. I don't think there's any need to block on the LOS with a Slayer. He's just gonna have to follow up and expose himself, which is obviously the last thing you want. I wouldn't go that fast, Squirreldude, to be honest. I find it easier to foul on defense than offense. So in many ways, also you're not expected to stop them on defense. But I mean, Spartako plays really hard defense and tries to stop people advancing at all. So there's no way he's going to foul on defense. And he probably wouldn't foul on offense either. Why 2 runners? I guess because it's the most important games of Blood Bowl in anybody's life, and he doesn't want to get a random thrown rock or whatever just to kill him, which is fair enough. You can't blame people. I mean, you can't blame people if people play bad, and that you can't really blame them because this is absolutely the most pressure and the most important games that anyone's ever played. Certainly financially in Blood Bowl. Some people might value tabletop tournaments more prestigious, but definitely there's more luck in this than there is in tabletop, I think. Yep, it looks like he's gone a bit too hard down this side. Absolutely. But then in many ways he had to give up this because he's got 2 prone players. He's got a guard, he's got a strength 4. So maybe he should have gone here. But I guess he wanted to get further forward. Yeah, I prefer 1 Slayer, 1 Runner. Or simply, the thing is though, he does have 12 players, so he can always bench a runner on defense and stuff. So I don't think it's that. I think I like to get for my 12th player to be a second runner, just for that little bit more reliability. But I would start with 1 Slayer, 1 Runner, absolutely. And if I like in most games, in most situations, nearly every situation, I'd start with 1 Slayer, 1 Runner, and keep 1 Slayer, 1 Runner. However, if you were building up to massive TV for some reason, then I would go 12th player. I like the runner, just because it means that if you've got 2 turn, you've got 2 movement 6, don't you? Which helps. No following, just Marco back off maybe. Or a Lino here, you could blitz him. Free up one of them. Oh, no, back. I don't think a 1 DB to blitz to base the carrier is no. Not with the Slayer right there. I mean, you could base him, I guess, but Spartako just plays hard defense and just tries to stop them advancing rather than taking kind of shots. Yeah, I prefer AV9, absolutely. People tend to go for AV8 as much as they can. He's got to retreat 1 here, hasn't he, to keep him safe and his leader safe from getting served. Probably not the Black Orc he'd want in this situation. I'm guessing this guy's going to try for a cheeky dodge out because he stood him up. He was happy with that move. Might he move this guy back here a little bit? I don't know. He doesn't need to, does he? Just want to stop him being able to reverse field. So I mean, he could put a bit more here, but I don't think he has to. Yeah, he's going to put a little bit more there. It's not a bad move, is it? He's got this pretty much locked down with all this, and I like that he's got a canoring threat here, because now obviously he can't leave this corner free like he did last turn. He's got to protect it all, and it really encourages him to go down hard down the sideline now, doesn't it? Or blitz back, and then just cage here, and then he can close the net in. Yeah, absolutely, said the coach. I mean, what does the dwarf coach do here, really? It's hard for him to get a 1 dice block anywhere. I don't know. He's gone in. Well, in a way, Sam Davies, I think he'll stop Mr. Light scoring. And then it's going to come down to how good the wizard is, isn't it? So he's probably happy to actually have kicked. Thinking about it, he's probably happy to kick here, because then he knows what he's got to do if he's got the wizard. If he's 1-0 up at half time, the wizard becomes not scary at all, really, does it? You can simply score any point and win 2-0 or 2-1. Yeah, using a wizard to score is just the worst feeling in the world. But if that's what you've got to do, that's what you've got to do, isn't it? Is he going to block with a blocker and then blitz him again? Yeah, I thought he would. Thought he might do that, but it's not too risky, is it? Gets his guard further back. You might try and switch where the leader is. No, he can't reach. Oh, it's good. I like it when people just try to defend hard. Because most people don't try to defend hard, really, do they? They just they worry about their players a little bit and stuff, or they go all men's contact. Whereas Spartako tends to hold off the all men's contact until it's time to go all men's contact. So giving up on a 2 dice block there. Interesting. Or is it so he can blitz the runner? I guess that's what it is. Well, yes and no, big fat Russian. Dwarves are easy to play against bad coaches and hard to play against good coaches, and it also depends on matchup. They're a lot easier against elf type teams than they are against bash teams. They kind of struggle against bash teams, but tend to break dodgy teams. Yeah, okay, Sid the coach says it well, there you go. They require good positioning, but are forgiving when it comes to blocking. So there you go. So so they're kind of good in a way because they're forgiving when it comes to blocking, they often don't require good positioning. So yeah, blitzing the armor 8, defenseless armor 8, you've got to do that. You've got to go for that. Plus it keeps him based, puts yet more pressure on the cage from behind. I mean, he is absolutely He is in a very bad position now, isn't he? I mean, that was basically a nothing blitz that he did, getting his guard into 2D someone. I mean, who cares? He just got his guard hit. It didn't achieve a whole lot unless he just randomly cast him. I don't know, his team's a lot worse, Sam Davies. His team is a lot worse. He's outguarded by 1 and outstrengthed by 4. That's pretty bad. He's also outnumbered 13 to 12. Not that that should be much of a factor, but it could be. Yeah, without a whiz, he would be absolutely done. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he'd be done without a whiz. But with a whiz, it is absolutely anybody's match, of course. But I just don't see how he's going to score. But with a whiz, he could maybe... Oh, there you go. That helps. He can't apple this, can he, with 13 players? Surely not. But I mean, he's still in a bad position, isn't he, even though he's got that Kaz? But yeah, I mean, that's a start. If he gets another removal, and he can maybe start to move down the pitch somehow. Yeah, the wizard could be a serious Gandalf. Of course, it could be. And anybody can like not play well, can't they? Like Spartako could make a really bad mistake, or a really greedy move or something, you know. But if he makes one slight mistake on offense against a wizard, the lucky thing for him is, of course, that dwarves are still movement 4 mostly. So even if something crazy happens on offense, he's unlikely to end it 1-0 down. It could be 0-0 though in the second half with a wizard, but you still don't know. A blitz, a perfect defense, plus a wizard, plus a 1 in 81. You know, it can. He's finally rescued his leader from being a bit of a target. There's no way he's going to get anyone in serve next turn. I don't think. Does he blitz this guy and then try to make a block here? He's not going to fall for the old switch that somebody made with the handoff to the runner. He's got this well covered here, well covered here. Yeah, of course, everything can happen. You know, a 1 in 81 is really, you know, it's always got the chance, hasn't it? 1 in 81 could cripple him at any point. He could fail a pickup with his thrower, fail it twice in a row against a blitz and with a wizard. So absolutely anything can happen. But I think you would just be wrong to back Mr. Light, but definitely closer than it would otherwise have been with this wizard. The wizard is definitely the X factor. Oh yeah! Got him. Yeah, he used the apple there. That's fair enough because he's only got 12 players. And the badly hurt obviously works. Guaranteed. Very nice. Now we can put a guard in here, probably. 2 black orcs here. Oh! Oh, 1 in 36. Into a stun. See, I think I would have just put him here. Oh no, because he wanted to put him 1, 2, 3, 4. No, he wanted to put him there probably. And him to here. Yeah, he had to make a GFI whatever happened. Because obviously he wanted the guard in here to cancel out this assist. And then get another assist in there. But... And if he'd moved him, he probably wanted the 2 black orcs here and here. To trap him completely. Maybe it would have been better to have put him on him in there. And then made the GFI with that. No, maybe not. No, I think he probably did the right GFI first there. Just got a bit unlucky, but now it looks like this guy's getting. He's not getting surfed. No, he got powered. Die, Dorf, die. Yes, mishaps. I do absolutely have Spartako winning it all. I've got no idea what that could be, Midori. It was a power anyway, wasn't it, Vaeava, so, you know. Well, yeah, now he can't even cage, yeah, that's true. That is true. But even if he couldn't cage anyway, I think it was fine because he's got to run back. Because he can't cage here, even if he pushed him there. Caging here is just not going to score without using a wizard, is he? So that stun let him switch to a more central position. You've got to go as central as you can, but in a way it was lucky that well, not lucky, he did the right thing making the GFI first, because these were all locked down and switching at this point. Can he try anything interesting here? Well, probably not. Yeah, it must just be stupid Twitch. That sucks, Midori. Well, he can't base Sam Davies. Basing on offense is a death sentence. Now could be the time for Spartako to base him. Maybe that's what Spartako's thinking. Does he go all in on the basing now? But I don't think he has to, so I don't think he will. He just wants to keep him in the centre here, doesn't he? The thing is though, Squirreldude, yeah, he has got 12 players, but the chance of anybody else getting cast is pretty low. And if they do get cast, there's a decent chance of it not being a badly hurt, and then making the Apo less likely to work. So, yeah, he can just hold the screen, definitely. Yeah, that's what he's going to do, isn't he? Of course. There's absolutely no reason for him to rush anything. Freeze up the Black Hawk without having to touch, so you can stand him up. I mean, this is great. This is a great pro tip here, isn't it? You know, he had the block, but he blitzed so that he could stand up his Black Hawk without you know, without giving away a block, even though he's armor 9. And some people just base everyone because they've got armor 9, don't they? But he's playing like an elf there, blitzing somebody to, you know, not give up a hit. Yeah, the Orc is in no rush, yeah. Absolutely. Well, he could have stood him up there though as well, couldn't he? As expected from Wood Elf Specialist. It's both though, isn't it, Sam Davies? You could have just stood him up and got hit. But he's armor 9, he doesn't want to stand up and get hit. No, that doesn't really matter at all. It's generally good to base people on offense. I don't know why you think it's being passive to not want your players based on offense. But there you go. Yes, exactly, Sam Davies. I don't know why you're calling... I don't know why you think passive offense is one that doesn't base players. Because basing players on offense is just bad offense, I think. So, there you go. The more players you leave based on offense, the more collapsed your defense is going to get. And now he does absolutely have to push for it now, yeah. Now he's just got to hope for a 1 in 9 or 1 in 81 or something. Maybe use his wizard to force it through. I very much like leader on the Black Orc, Villainic. And it is, in fact, something that I did on my ladder topping Orcs. So there you go. In for a 1 dice. Nice. Kaz here. No, not a standard dwarf player. Unbelievable, Jeff. You could maybe chain this guy. Can you chain this guy out? If you could change this guy out, you could get to be on the board, but he's probably... You could probably do this actually with these guys. Oh no, you can't get someone in here. No. But now he's just going to knock down everyone who got base, and it's pretty brutal. Do you think this was great play? I just think he's done now. And plus, to be fair, he did it on the right turn when he had a 2-player advantage with these two stuns. Well, not stuns, knockdowns. I mean, what he's done here is, the dwarf now has no option down this side, has he? Both of his blitzers and both of his runners are here. So now the orcs can completely abandon this side. You know, these two can push hard in here. This guy can push hard here if he wants. Maybe block here and bring him back. And then get the Black Orc in here on 2 players or something. Well, now, much like Lupak's game against Spartako, I would have done not much. I would have probably just felt bad that he had a better team than me and he was a better player than me and I just couldn't make anything happen. So I guess that, I mean, you know, I don't know, even though I'm kind of thinking exactly the same things as Spartako here a lot of the time, it's hard to counter it, isn't it? It's hard to counter this hard defense, really. There wasn't a lot Lupak could have done. There's not a lot Mr. Light can do. He's going to blitz him there. There's, I don't know, he just got a potato down. I mean, now he's left this dodge out. So unless he's just not going to blitz and he's going to stand here, he's going to dodge out, make 2 GFIs here, and hope that something works, I guess. I don't know. Or dodge him through the gap. Something. I mean, it's tough, isn't it? I would have maybe picked up with not the agility 4 dodger and tried to hand off a pass play to him. That would have maybe been the best play. It's hard though, isn't it? I mean, it's really hard for Mr. Light. He's down 1 guard and 4 strength. It's really hard. Down loads of movement. He's even down AV. He's down players. It's like, oh, he's failed another GF. He's made 2 GFIs, 1 in 36-1, and made the other one. So failed 3 out of 4 GFIs. Absolutely standard. So I mean, he could actually make a 1D here. You know, do something and get this runner out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. GFI, get some kind of cage for him. So it's absolutely, he maybe shouldn't have done what he did. He maybe should have blocked here and just not blitzed. It obviously seems terrible to not make a blitz, but you know, I think sometimes if he'd been here, if this guard had been here, that maybe would have been better, or even here or something. Yeah, I don't like this basing. This basing doesn't really achieve much at all. Well, it used his blitz, but realistically, it's a 1 in 36. It's no big whoop, is it? I think I would have 1D blitzed him, and then done the 1. And then, obviously, if you power him, it's unbelievable. Because you get to 2D him, and then dodge this guy out to safety easily. I just really don't value making somebody blitz. He didn't even need a blitz, he could have just dodged away. Oh, he's just running through there. Fair enough. He is agility 4. It's not the craziest thing in the world. Yeah, I think he should have put him there. And obviously, as it happened, he's moved 2 players out this way. So yeah, I would have done this if I was Mr. Light. So yeah, it looked like that blitz that he made. Maybe he's given up the score there. If you put him here or here, I think. But it makes you feel sick, doesn't it, to not make a blitz? That is the thing. See, I think I would have put him here and then made this 1 dice so that you could have dodged through on a 2+. But he wanted to make that dodge before him. Yep, and if he'd just been a safety, he'd have been in for. But then the 1D isn't going to do anything, is it? Against. So he didn't really want a safety back. I think he made the right play by not having a safety, because what's a 1D to? Well, he's only dodge, so 1 in 3. Could have used his reroll for a 55% shot. Yeah, so obviously Mr. Light knows what he's doing. He definitely capitalised on that slight misposition. And that's the thing, you know, Spartako's a good player, but he can make that mistake that costs him the match. Anyone's capable of that. Wow. So now he's made 3 GFIs and failed them all. Used all 3 rerolls in GFI, one of which didn't even work. That's crazy. 4 ones out of 6 rolls. Yeah, you would have got 2D if you'd sent this blitzer back as a safety, but then this would have been a bit different. But I think this was a bad move. I would have put him here. Or back as a safety, one of the two. The safety just isn't that exciting without tackle, is it? That's the thing. But I mean, it's not like it's like he just has block, isn't it, effectively? So it's not so bad. I was kind of thinking him as a blodger, which obviously he isn't at all. And like making a GFI to base him, it's not really any good unless you're going to blitz him. Which is a 3-2-2 to blitz him now. He's just all in on it, not moving anybody else. No power. He hasn't got anyone else to move, has he? So this was a good turn to get people. Oh, again, I thought it was a blodger. Oh my god. Yeah, he gets to both down. Derp. Get him out. Does he block with him and get the Black Hawk back out? Maybe. No, he blocked with the Black Hawk. And he got his 1 in 9. There you go. And got KO'd. Yeah, I would have thought about... I mean, obviously it doesn't really matter now, but I would have thought about blocking with the lineman there to get the Black Hawk to base him. But I guess getting him here would have been better, wouldn't it? Probably. I don't know. 6 and 2 threes. Utterly disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, so this is exactly what the Dwarfs needed, isn't it? And he's got agility 4, movement 6, 1, 2, 3. What's he going to do? Just one more, pick it up in a tackle zone, dodge out, pass it to him. Oh no, he's not passing. Oh, and he can just run. Yeah, of course. I took my eye off the ball there and had no idea what was happening. Yep, so 3-2-2 to score. Easy. Don't even think about making these blocks. Ted. Well, there you go. Now the wizard can win it for him. Absolutely. And he's half of the way there to his 1 in 4 getting disadvantaged. And I mean, this is the weakness of, yeah, they are indeed mishaps, yeah, absolutely, those GFIs. But I mean, that was it, wasn't it? That's the weakness of the defense that Spartako has employed, right? This is why I don't like that defense that Spartako uses. Like, different in I kind of go this way in tabletop and stuff where the matches really, really matter. But like, in games where you've got progression and stuff, that's why I don't like that kind of hard defense, because if you fail, they score on turn 8. Whereas if you just like shepherd them loosely rather than trying to wall them off, if you just shepherd them loosely, then they're probably going to take the score on turn 6 or something. And also, if this goes wrong, if you base everybody and it goes wrong, they stall you out till turn 8. So I don't know. It's high risk, high reward, isn't it? You know, he had a few chances where Mr. Light's offense could have completely broken down, and he could have turned him over and scored. So yeah, it was ultimately that one mistake from Spartako. Well, I think it was a mistake. Definitely. I know. I said where I would have put him. I think that was a mistake, and looks like it's cost him. Yeah, the ball carry basing. Yeah, I really don't like. Some people love basing the ball carry, and I'm like, he blitzed him away anyway. But even if he hadn't blitzed him away, it's a 1 in 36. Like, is it even worth it? I don't think it was to. But he obviously wanted to blitz, didn't he, as well? So. Hello, Fudge Nipples. Why is he giving up a blitz here? Because I guess he's just playing for the riot, isn't he? He thinks the Orc can't one turn, and this is a better defense for a riot than everyone at the back. There have been some good World Cup games. Yes, Fudge Nipples, you can check out my my YouTube for the highlights there. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, nobody plays a perfect game, do they? Coach good time. So there's going to be a few things that you would do differently, or Pete W would have done differently, or like Enzo would have done something differently to Purple Goo. It's like there's a lot of things that like people would do playing at their best they would do differently, and then of course you've got the pressure and the time limit and everything. So. It's hard to say categorically things are mistakes. A lot of things are just things that people would do differently, aren't they? Yeah, I think maybe he should have just. But the thing is, if he had got the blitzer back as a safety here, or if he'd put him here holding that dodge out like I would have done, either one of those moves means that he doesn't get to make a blitz that turn. And people really do want to make a blitz, don't they? The game's all about blocking, isn't it? Maximizing blocking, maximizing blocks you make, minimizing blocks you take. So to not make a blitz one turn, it does not feel good. And in fact, I lost a match recently with my lizards. I made a blitz that I knew I shouldn't have made, and. Left a gap in my offense, and there you go, game over. Yeah, if that had been his offensive drive. See, anything can happen, can't it? If that had been Spartako's offensive drive, he would have been fuming. Unbelievable, completely one-sided. Completely brutal. But luckily for Spartako, it's irrelevant turn 8. Yeah, pitch invasion it's horrible because there's not a lot you can do with pitch invasion, isn't there? Like, you can set up to stop a blitz, minimize the impact of a blitz or a perfect defense somewhat, but there's really nothing you can do to counteract throw a rock or pitch invasion. So they're the ones that I like least for that reason. Though of course blitz is generally overpowered, and I don't like sweltering heat. I'm surprised he let his guard get blitzed. I think that was poor. I mean, sure, he wanted to defend against the riot, but at least put him here so it's a little bit harder to hit him. If he'd got pushes, he mightn't have been able to make the blitz. If he didn't want to put him on the back line. And did he really want to expose his blitzers instead of these long leads? I don't know. This was a touchback. Oh wow, triple skull. Get out of town. Stunned. Imagine if this was offensive drive. Oh my god. Triples, you know, four stunned to none, and then into a triple skull. So here we are, 50-50 for the Black Orc. I think he maybe even thought about applying it as well. Ah, he's back. So now I think Spartako's apple will be used on a key KO if he has to, because it's quite important for the score, isn't it now? Yeah, the running, the GFIs have been terrible, haven't they? The GFIs have been the absolute worst. Yep, it is very interesting. It's in the balance now with the Wizard, isn't it? And obviously overtime. The other match is starting now, but I think I'm going to stick with this one, to be honest. You know, stick with this till the end, then catch up with the second match. Well, the thing is that the guards are least tied up on the LOS. B. Craig 10488. Because this is the thing, if he doesn't have the guards on the LOS, then they can be like manned up one-on-one, and he's got to dedicate a blitz to free them up. Whereas here, it's like the biggest concentration. He wants to keep the ball as central as possible, so most of the defense is going to be here, and then naturally in positions to be blocked off. And also together, he can't use his guard to get a 2D on one so easily. So I would keep my guard in the middle there. To start, I think it's the best place. They're much more easily freed up now, and also they're getting value, aren't they, if they end their turn. The more players that are based in contact with them, the better. So while on defense a mobile guard is good, you don't want your guard stranded on defense, but you also don't want them stranded on offense. Yeah, leave the cards and cats in the cards. Okay. Oh, brutal. Good night. So, see, he resting the runner on defense, so that's why he uploaded that long beard, so that he didn't have to play the second runner on defense. Which is a good call, but now he is actually down to 11 players and 10 for this drive. Of course, that would be pretty big, going down to 10 men on turn 1 of the drive. He's going to have to blitz this guard with his blitzer, isn't he? But he's just got to think about where everything else is going to go and what he's going to do. Because he's just got not quite enough movement. He'd like to keep this guy hemmed in, but also he wants to stop anything coming out this way. Interesting. So he is giving up on that to make sure that he's hemmed in here. Fair enough. Well, it's not overtime for sure because of the wizard. That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, Spartako's got to play for overtime. Yeah, there's absolutely he has to play for overtime. But yeah, maybe score on turn 15. Yeah, because it's hard for Dwarfs to two-turn, isn't it? So I guess he'll. But I mean, I think the wizard will be used before or not used. I mean, if somebody bolts you on turn 15, then you're pretty happy with that, aren't you? Wow, he's going heavy basing on offense. But obviously he does have, it's all of his strength 4 is in contact with strength 3. But I'm surprised that he's left this half week here. He has got the man up though, hasn't he, Squirreldude? And you know, ultimately he wants the wizard used as early as possible for as little effect as possible, isn't he? So maybe he's trying to bait the wizard a little bit. Where's this guy going to go here? He can't. I don't know. I don't like what he's done here, to be quite honest. He can get based by this guy. Just stand him up, blitz with a troll slayer, and get him in for basing on the ball. He could also run through crazily because he's agility 3, 4 even. Yeah, so I guess that's a good answer to that particular basing threat there. So he's gone the Sam Davies school of everyone in base contact on offense, which is obviously a lot easier for the Orcs because he got strength 4 instead of strength 3. That's why I think it would have been pretty suicidal for the Dwarfs to have done it earlier than when they did. Which wasn't really, they didn't really do it, they were more based by the Orcs, weren't they? He absolutely can. Yeah, the thing is, it was bad for the Dwarves, right, Sam Davies? It was bad for the Dwarves. Basing your strength 3 players on offense against strength 4 is bad. Basing strength 4 against strength 3 is good. It's still not great, to be honest, Spice. But I don't really agree with it. But there you go. I think maybe he's trying to bait the wizard. Claw fireball. Yeah, he could have pulled with the thrower. It wouldn't have been like so. I like that move there. That move there locked it down. It was worth giving him up. This basing was good because it meant it used 2 people's actions rather than him just running through this wide open space that would have been created by the troll slayer. Oh, basing players on offense is just bad. There you go. Leader KO'd. He's got to apple that. He has no choice, literally no choice, but to apple this. And that's why I don't like basing things on offense. Giving up any blocks you don't need to do is just bad. Especially again on turn 9, he didn't need to do this. He probably just saw the Kaz that he got and thought, I can go for it now. Yep, injured. Yes, Sam Davies. Basing players on offense is just bad. You can quote me on that. It has in fact maybe lost Spartako this match, but I'm glad you like basing players on offense. Wow. Brutal. So he got a dead black hole for that, didn't he? But I mean, he absolutely had to apple that. It was harsh. It was punished in the worst way possible there, with having to use his apple for his third reroll. And you know, armor 9. Obviously, the chances are he's got no mighty blow. The chances are he's not going to get another Kaz, and then he gets it instantly. And now he's in very much trouble, isn't he? He's in a lot of trouble right now. His old Spartako. Very tricky. I think Mr. Light has become the favourite with that turn. AV9 equals AV9. Yeah. Yeah, that was a very strange move, I thought, basing all that. I think this basing one was good because that stopped this guy basing the ball and getting the dwarfs through here. I think this one was essential. I didn't like the way he did that. Balcher's the favourite. Balcher is certainly Nuffle's chosen. No, Mossman has the best team by a mile. So you've got to back Mossman realistically. But yeah, Bucky's been the luckiest, absolutely. Yeah, that's Mossman, said the coach. Mossman has the 5 or 6 guards, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Coach Goodtime. That's what I think. I think he wanted to get everyone based up and then get rid of the fireball early, yeah, of course. He wanted the fireball to be as early as possible and as ineffective as possible. And sometimes an early fireball is good for the defense, but at least you don't have to deal with it for the rest of the half, do you? Hello, Orilensis. Yeah, there is a 6-guard dwarf. Well, there's 5 guards, and he hasn't picked the skill on the Troll Slayer, so it could go 6-guard. Lizards are a good choice for this in many ways, because of course, if 3 of their skinks are missed next game, it doesn't even matter. Wow, he's not had a look on the block this game. I think maybe he didn't need to re-roll that there, to be honest. Or maybe he did because he hadn't stood this guy up. Yeah, he had to because he hadn't stood this guy up. So there you go. I mean, a basic error there, wasn't it, really? I mean, I guess he wanted to dodge him away if he got the power. But it's looking very, very bad. And right now, yeah, he can't really wizard here. You can get 1 dice if he wants it easily, can't he? And so I guess you take the 1 dice on the ball here, and then save the wizard. The Orc on the floor was stunned. Oh, this one, because I guess he doesn't want people based on offense and giving up hits. Seeing as it cost him with a Kaz and a KO last turn. But yeah, it's strange. Yeah, I think it was worth a 3+ dodge, yeah. Or stand him up to at least take up an action if one of them. It's already gone bad for him, isn't it? He's got to pull out all the stops now and you know, push his luck a little bit. Yeah, we could see the favourite going out now. Absolutely. Even without the wizard, it would be tough for him. You know, there's 10 versus 10 still. No, 9 versus 10, isn't it? No, 10 versus 10, because the KO was output. So 10 v 10. I will be, said the coach, yes, I will be covering the second match, but it's already started, so I'll just be taking over when this one ends, because this one's pretty interesting, isn't it? But, wow, he didn't take a 1D on... Ah! Was this guard? He didn't get the POW, right. So if he'd got the POW, he would have 1D'd them all, probably. But without getting the POW, I guess you just... you do that. Maybe base the ball, he could think about it. Not a great World Cup for spectators because Dwarfs keep winning, yeah. We could definitely see 4 Dwarfs in the semi-finals right now. I mean, in fact, you would back that probably. Yeah, but he'd have had to move this guy in here, wouldn't he? And then he could have done this. He could have done, but then he'd have had to blitz with him, and he'd have just wanted to recover with him. So I guess he's happy that he survived this turn, but every turn's going to be a nightmare for Spartako now, isn't it? Absolute nightmare. Because the fact he's got to protect the ball, and all of his guys are based, it puts him in a very tricky position. Nice little block for a chain here, but of course it's a 1 in 9 risk. Might stand him up now, because even if he gets knocked down again, it's 2 players to knock him down, isn't it? 2 players' actions. The guard. So yeah, could blitz there, get the assist in or something, I don't know. It's not easy, is it? Not an easy thing to do here at all. He's got a chance if he powers him here, then he can. Oh no, he can't blitz twice. No. Has he got to? He can't even 1 dice because he's not. So yeah, he's got to leave him in there. Blitz him? What? 1 dice blitz here? Blitz with a carrier? Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Hella risky though, 1 in 9 with a ball carrier. But yeah, it gets the guard away. And most importantly, gets him stops him being based. So yeah, I guess that was pretty good recovery by Spartako. I think he stands him up here, yeah. Pure, whoa, dodged. I think I would have eaten the hit. Because it's two players' actions, isn't it? He just stands up and he just blocks. And then you've got a guy here and a guy here. Now with failing this dodge, they're both in contact and it's causing them problems. Could he blitz? Could he use that bolt here? I think he could bolt here. I think he could. It's worth thinking about. Because he gets an easy 2D here and an easy 2D here as well. But he's just a little bit too far away, isn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I've got no idea, Gimfer. Russ is on too late for me now, so I don't ever get to watch him. I don't think you'd be happy with it, Jelliel. This is the thing. I mean, you're always happy that their apple is used up, but to say that you'd be happy with it, if this guard had come in here, 2D'd him, and then got the ball. In fact, he could have just blitzed. He could have straight up blitzed, couldn't he? With this guy. Could have just straight up blitzed. Oh no, this would have had to be a blitz. Yes, of course, Jelliel. But the thing is, like, it's already tough. So yeah, of course, you're happy that it's gone. But ultimately, you don't want to use it when your opponent's comfortable. You want to use it when they're in a bit of a bad situation, and then make that situation unbearable. You know, so I you know, it's every time somebody would use a whiz, it's gonna, you know, it wouldn't be the best time to use him, but it would be worth thinking about it. Because the worst thing you can do is just not use your wizard at all. Like it's easy to say in retrospect. You know, like in the Guinness versus Sam Davies match, it was easy to say in retrospect that you know, with Sam completely head going because of the wizard and stuff, and with it all working out, and then using the wizard when he did. He obviously had to use the whiz when he did, but that looks great in retrospect, with the benefit of hindsight. But on the other hand, if he had used the whiz and it had completely collapsed the cage and led to a defensive touchdown, then that looks like the right time to whiz as well. So it is hard to say when the right time to whiz is. And plus it depends, if you're all in one, obviously, then it's really bad, isn't it? No, Gimfer, I'm not playing any. I'm just casting these two games because this will be on till quite late at night for me, and I'll just be going straight off to bed, and same tomorrow as well. To be honest, just casting these World Cup games, and then should be streaming next week. Oh, not much actually next week. I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be the next times I'm playing. Wow, Spartako's 1 in 9s are coming in here, aren't they? He can probably let this one. No, he doesn't think he can. You see, and this is where the cyanide thing of 15 seconds really puts the pressure on. He should have probably thought for another minute before he made this block. And that's something you've really got to learn to do on cyanide, especially in high stakes games like this. He should have been thinking for a minute. Should I re-roll this if this is a down here? Or, you know, at least 30 seconds. But then you get that 15-second timer, and, you know, it's pretty hard to assess whether you can let it go or not. I guess he really couldn't. So yeah, he's safe from him, isn't he? Can't even base him. Surprised he pushed him in contact. I would have pushed him over there. He doesn't get to make the GFI though, does he? Too risky probably. He blocks that way and he blocks this way. So I mean, he's definitely holding his own here. The fact that he hasn't just capitulated this half, Spartako's done well. And now, I mean, now the wizard isn't an option at all, is it, this turn? Yeah, Carl Ancelotti. Yeah, it'll all be coming back soon. Don't worry, don't worry. I've just got to regain my love of Blood Bowl, and then we'll have Murder Monday, endless attempts at list pro tips, and yeah, top ranked. There should be some top ranked streams in the works. Well, the thing is, Jelliel, it's not that surprising that all the Dark Elves got eliminated, because the closest thing that Fumble have the Royal Rookie Rumble, which is pretty close to this. Everyone starts with 1,000 TV teams. There's progression and injuries and everything. The only difference is that they only play 4 games max, rather than potentially in this you've got 10 games max, don't you? And the winner. But up to the semis it's 4 games. So, and that is absolutely dominated. The Royal Rookie Rumble and Fumble is dominated by Dwarfs, Orcs and Undead. So while there's Amazons are a thing, you know, and Dark Elves and Wood Elves hardly ever win there, and Skaven, so it does make sense, absolutely. Wow, -2D powers his leader. Sickening. Good turn there from Mr. Light. Got 2 on 1. This isn't great, but at least he's got to make a 1 in 9 to free up the blitzer. Haven't opened your turn with a 1 in 9. It's not good, is it? Down to 10 players. Wizard still in hand. 4 turns to move it from halfway. What's he going to do? He might be tempted to try and get through this way, mightn't he? I mean, he just can't really go forward. But he has to score, doesn't he? So he has to get forward somehow. Ah, yeah, go even further on that side. Yeah, that makes sense. He gets 3 guys out in front here, and he gets to stay halfway-ish. But it's very rough for him. I mean, at this point, obviously, Mr. Light wants to save the wizard for turn 15. And just guard against the breakaway as much as possible. Make sure he's got a whiz and a few players free. So he'd really like to get this blitzer more in the middle. He's got a blitzer and a runner in the middle already. But yeah, it's looking very bad for Spartako right now. Oh, pretty big stun. Pretty big stun. Yeah, absolutely. Oriolensis and Squirreldude, he will absolutely take that right now. He'll happily pay that reroll to get overtime. No, Squirreldude, the leader reroll has been. Ooh, it's used for the second half. That's a good question. Plus, we don't know how Cyanide would do it. Interesting. A huge dodge there. Huge stun and a huge dodge. So he's got in a pretty good spot, but of course this block can free up all 3 guys here. Oh yeah, this is the other way, I guess. Then you get the block in as well. But I would have made this block here, I think, to free up these guys. I think I would have done. Because, you know, I'd have wanted the guard in around here. Well, the thing is, Squirreldude, it's not so much the CRP, it's what if Cyanide coded, isn't it? You know, who knows how it's going to work in Blood Bowl 2? That's quite the different question from asking what the rules are. Yeah, are you sure? Said the coach. If you had it happen to you in the game. No, I think he's got to keep the wizard now because he's got to just. But yeah, it's looking bad for the Dwarves. I don't think that was the play. I would have wanted the card in this area. But that stun and that dodge have helped massively. He's obviously just got to move this guy down, block here, and free him up to run back. Whoa, he's not even doing it. Greedy boy. He's going to 1D here or something. Lucky bugger. Yeah, I'll be doing him all the way back. But you know, the scoring looks a lot more possible for him now. Absolutely. Should have moved him back first. I mean, maybe he's going to make GFIs, but you know, I wouldn't. I would just get him back here. First thing. No, he's going to make the GFIs. I'd have still got him further back though. I guess he's in the middle now. You can't really reverse field, so I think him having the deep would have been better. Maybe make the second GFI, but there's no reason. I don't want to make the first one, I don't think. Wow, with these one dices killing him here. But he's still got 3 free players, hasn't he? So he can still make a cage here. But it's looking pretty desperate. Pretty desperate still for the Orcs. I don't think he has Squirreldude. I think he's the Mr. Light has definitely had the better of the look. Absolutely. I mean, you've just got to look at his touchdown, which is a 3-2-2 with the 2 GFIs, whereas Spartako failed 4 out of 6 rolls and 3 out of 3 GFIs. He failed every single GFI that he made and had to use a reroll, and still failed one of them. So 4 out of 3 attempts to make a GFI, he rolled 4 ones and 2 non-ones. So if Mr. Light had that look, it would be 0-0 right now. And you know, he would just be trying to win, or maybe go to overtime. And he doesn't have to get too far forward this turn, does he? He's only got to get to like here is all he has to get to. No, here. This is where he has to get to. But I mean, he's going to want to get further forward. A little bit Oriolensis. Essentially, I think Spartako made a bit of a mistake, which he had to roll some dice, Mr. Light, but Mr. Light did roll the dice and made a bit of a breakaway. Then Spartako, to be fair, got some decent dice, but then some bad dice and didn't quite recover. And then he ended up, Mr. Light just needed 3-2-2 to score on turn 8. So I think Spartako's been, and then in the second half, obviously he based some players and suffered a Kaz and a KO. So on balance, I think the dice have definitely 100% favoured the Dwarfs. But ultimately, you'll be thinking it's his mistake that's cost him. Just made this dodge here, probably, eh? Maybe not though, because this is block him away. You wouldn't want him to be able to block him away. So maybe he'll stay here. Basically, there was some players here, and he could have moved a blitzer here, but instead based the ball carrier. No. Cheeky KO. Bit late now. Is he within 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, he is. So he is 7 away. So I guess he'll be trying the score next turn if he can. So yeah, you would be tempted to use the wizard here. But again, he can't benefit that well from it. He's just thinking about this guy, isn't he? Because you've got to figure if you try the dodge, you'll fail it. But then if you make it, you're here, aren't you? He's got the dodger here still. Interesting. I'm not sure it was the right play. I guess it was, because you'd have still been making this block. No, but now he gets to stand him up, he gets to make a 2D here. It's interesting. He might bolt. It's tempting to bolt, of course. You've got to think about the bolt here. Can't think about a fireball, even though it'd get you these 4 or these 4. I mean, maybe he could have gone for the fireball here, actually. But it's the ball if you use it, I think. And then he tries to come through here somehow to recover. But he's not doing that, he's just going to block him. Get these round, and this guy round. Might be enough. Looking at what the blitzer here, the slayer here, and then this guy, 1, 2, 3. Don't know where he goes. This doesn't do a whole lot, does it? If he goes here, he's got to make more GFIs. He's got to make 2 GFIs with this guy, because the guard is just making it easy to blitz through. But even then, the guard still makes it easy. He's got to get 3 players here. He's literally got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 GFIs here, and 1, 2, 3 GFI to here. Otherwise, it's just too easy to blitz through. And it's still pretty easy to blitz through as well. Oh, yeah, just 1. Not sure about that, because you can blitz here and then go here. This guard can go in here, so you can just block him. He can blitz him, block him, and then go through here. You might go for this one through here and make the GFIs. Just take this touchdown chance. But it looks like he stood this guy up, so he's not making this blitz. Oh, he wasn't down. Oh, this is the one who's down. Yeah, I think you've got a blitz here, but he can't follow. You blitz here. No, it's pretty tricky, isn't it? It's actually pretty tricky, because he's got to get through this square to score. So this is going to have to be a 1D, probably. I think that's all he can do. To do the run and follow. Yeah, he needed that power. Both down. He would have had to make 4-4-3 dodges, or just not score. Get that guy in there. And then a 1 dice block. So basically this is going to be the exact same rolls as what Mr. Light needed. 3 plus, 2 plus 2 plus to score. Oh, we should have done the 1 dice block first. Look, he rolled the power. Yeah, I think he should have used it then, purely because he was 7 squares away. The fact he was 7 squares away, I think he had to use the reroll, the wizard that turn, yeah. Although it wasn't the best turn to use it, I think the best turn was maybe turn 11 or turn 12. Or maybe even turn 10 or something, but this kind of, even though he made all these GFIs that he wanted to make, it's still, you know, he's still got a chance to win it here, hasn't he? He still needs 3. The thing is that if he rolls a 2, he still if he rolls a 2 here, he can still make the 3. Yeah, see, so he rolled a 2. So his 3-2-2 is actually better than Mr. Light's, and he did actually fail the first hurdle. So now it's just a straight 3-2-2 to score. He can't do anything else, I don't think. I guess he could just stay where he is and move 1 to here, but I think it's a bit risky. I wonder if he'll just stay where he is and move across him. I guess he's got to think about it now. The worst thing to do would be to fail this, but then he's got the wizard. He's got to go for it, hasn't he? So there you go. He's failed both 3 pluses. Just dice, isn't it? Dice at the end of the day. He's still got to go for it because he's getting bouldered. And then the agility 4 dodges picking it up. He literally has to make these 2 pluses. Wow. Wow. So he made it easier. His score was easier than the one that Mr. Light made, and he still had to use a wizard to get reroll to get it. Brutal. So he's in overtime, but with 0 rerolls, and still up against the wizard. And down a black orc. Oh, but the guard Longbeard's still out. Ah, but maybe not. And the dwarves could score, so it might not even be. It might not even be overtime. He's got his 2 runners for the 2 turner. Yeah, the wizard assist. I mean, he is agility 4 dodge. So, yeah, the dwarves surely can 2-turn. They really can. Blitz and Orcs go. Ride. Yeah, I think I should use the wizard there. Or earlier. I think when there was the 2 black orcs there, I would have given this wizard serious thought. Not saying it was the best chance, but I mean, you don't know what's going to happen the rest of the game, do you? He had to think on turn 11 that he was going to get a better chance. And it wasn't really a good time to use the wizard turn 15. It was more almost the only time to use the wizard. But I guess, you know, if he doesn't use the wizard, then he goes to overtime and he's got a 50-50 chance to straight up win by winning the coin toss, is the way he looks at it. And then he's got a wizard to force through the score. Or he's got the wizard to stop in overtime. Like, if he uses the wizard there and he rolls a 1, or whatever, or he just fails to stop the score if he uses the wizard there, then he's in overtime without a wizard, which is much worse, isn't it? The threat of the wizard, you can't underestimate that. He's not getting the magic dice to save him now. Yeah, absolutely Oriolensis, yeah. But the thing was, it wasn't guaranteed that he had to make all those rolls to score. He had to make 5 GFIs and a dodge to make those rolls needed. You know, he had to roll quite a lot of dice himself to get to that stage. Which is why I don't think it was a good spot to use the wizard, really. It wasn't a great way to use the wizard on turn. It wasn't a great spot to use the wizard on turn 15. But it was like it was an interesting case to use the wizard. There was definitely a case for it. There's always a case to use the wizard most turns, isn't there? But I mean, the fact he was 7, if he was 8 away, obviously you don't use the wizard there. But with him being 7 away, it made the turn 15 score on. Which obviously in a normal game, if there was no overtime, you would 100% use the wizard. But the fact that there's overtime if you don't, it's not such a threat, is it? Well, he's not going to score the 2 turn, I don't think. No, I guess he's not going to. Like, what's this guy going to do? 4, 4, 2. Four, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. GFI. Just run to there. He nearly did. If only he didn't have 2 cards, he could have made a nice foul there. There's going to be a huge KO roll here, isn't there? It's either 10 players, including 2 runners, or 11 and no guard, or 11 with his guard back. Absolutely huge KO roll. And of course, the coin toss is also always massive. Wow, injury. Unbelievable, Jeff. Thanks to trying to make that breakthrough. You know, he might have been better off just not trying, just making the blocks. There you go, AV9 block given up for a Kaz. Brutal. So yeah, that was obviously the way to do it, because now he gets a 2D there, and then a 2D there, and then a 3D, 3, 4, 5, 6, no. Push him along the line. Well, it's still tough for him. He's still got 0 rerolls against a wizard. I mean, that is a pretty tough position to be in, isn't it? Now, so we went for the greedier way of the 1 in 9. But that clears any blocks, doesn't it? Nah, he hasn't got a Lino or a reserve Morlock. So yeah, if he had a Lino free, then you know, if this guy wasn't badly hurt and was on the pitch for some reason, you could have fouled him, but You can't follow in the Black Orc. Or the thrower, realistically. You just wanted to clear the players off him, Demaster. That was the thing, wasn't it? If he got this push here, he's not giving up any blocks, even though he's armor 9. Yeah, kickoff is pretty much content tournament, as pretty much always. I'm not sure I've ever seen. I'm not sure I've ever seen a team that lost the coin toss. Oh no, I lost the coin toss against Sage and beat him with a Dark Elf Mirror. That's the only time I think I've ever seen somebody lose the coin toss and actually win in the 8 turns. The other times it's just been, you know, they've stopped them and got to the penalty kicks. But I don't think, apart from me beating the Sage, I don't think I've ever seen somebody win in overtime who kicked. It's pretty brutal. Going for the greedy Troll Slayer block there. Good old Frenzy Trap. But he's shown that he's not scared of 1 dice blocks. Yes, true wizard in overtime. I mean, he could definitely... Mr. Light could definitely lose the toss here and still win the game. If Spartako loses the toss, I think he's probably lost the game. Because, you know, he's got a reroll and he's got the wizard to force through the touchdown. A lot depends on this KO roll. And now that with that extra cards, that also makes it harder for the Dwarfs. So, yeah, I think it's going to be tight whoever wins, to be honest. It is very possibly going penalty kicks, yeah. Although you've got to bet the fact that Spartako will make a 1 in 9 or something, and it will lead to a massive. Yeah, I guess Mr. Light isn't going to be rolling. Well, he might re-roll a touchdown or something, might he? Or something absolutely crucial. Alright, his player's up. But still 10 versus 11. Now the biggest moment of the game. Oh, Spartako won it. The dice have favoured him. The dice have favoured Mr. Light, however, the Orcs have made 3 cards, which is quite a lot. But I mean, he's made 2, so. But yeah, the dice have. I think you can't argue that the dice have favoured Mr. Light. But I mean, he hasn't played bad at all. It was really hard for him on offense, and you know, ultimately Spartako made that one mistake, which maybe lost him the game. We shall see. Yeah, 9 versus 11 without guard would have been massive. It would have been absolutely massive. But now 10 versus 11 with his guarder, and he's down as Black Orc, so it's not so bad now for the Dwarves. I guess just to make it more exciting, my tiny life. No idea why they decided that. Oh yeah, yes, VG purist. Dwarves are 10, but had this guy not come back, they would have been 9 versus 11 without any guard, which would have been massive. But now it's 10 versus 11, so it's not so bad. Alright, the KO rolls. I don't know where they are. 5. Yeah, that's true, Squirreldude. And also it kind of mirrors like real football, doesn't it? You know, in the way that like in extra time everyone's exhausted and starts making more mistakes and everything, so it's okay. But now Spartako needs to play great and not get unlucky. Yeah, the whiz is going to be massive, you know, with his 1 in 9 chances and the whiz. I mean, it's good that he can score any time he wants, of course. He doesn't have to try and orchestrate an 8-turn scoring drive. He can just potato if he has to.
I feel the need for speed.
Thank you very much for the follow, Cornick. Well, 55%, but yes, Edmad, yeah, exactly. I mean, ultimately, look, Spartako can potato a little bit, so it's interesting because, you know, he's got to have... Spartako needs the Canoring threat, really, because a pass play isn't that bad, isn't out of the question, and isn't that bad odds, really, is it? Although obviously he's not going to want to do it. It does bypass the wizard. It's definitely going to be interesting. Like, it's really all about the positioning now, isn't it? It's an absolutely different game when you've got 0 rerolls. I think he's just... I don't think he will force the score. I think he will just, you know, push forward like a normal game, except with the option of a break. Because I don't think he's going to try to score, you know, anytime soon. Just keep it as absolutely safe as possible. And if he goes to penalty kicks, that's preferable to a lightning bolt run and recovery, isn't it? Wow, injury brutal. Okay, so now it is 9 versus 11. So to be fair, I mean, Spartako has made up on the Kaz dice what he's lost on the ball dice. Somewhat. See, now he is thinking about, like, how bad is it if I fail this, because he can't re-roll it. You can absolutely get unlucky still, though, with a crazy fireball, or a crazy bolt, or, you know, just a 1 in 36, or a 1 in 9. Yeah, I can never cheat a Dwarfs. It's not even an option. Even my own dwarf teams. They've got, you know, there's nothing going for Dwarfs, is there? You know, things like that you never do if you've got a reroll, have you? But he's getting in the safe moves and everything. Yeah, you've got to risk the guard, of course. I thought I kind of hadn't realised he'd move this guy. I thought he was going to move this guy in, so that at least if he doubled down, he was still in contact with him. Bit more wary. He's not going base to base this time. Oh God, it could easily be 4 dwarfs in the semis, which is going to be a bit crazy, isn't it? Up to 9 dwarf mirrors. Hello, Ilbeard. Thank you. Yeah, I thought the basing everything at the start of the second half was. I think he just got the blood pumping, you know, a rush of blood after getting that Kaz. Dwarfs. Yeah, I know you're a fan of Dwarves, Ilbeard. They've done pretty well here. I don't think he's played bad at all. I mean, he's outmatched, isn't he, with 1 guard against 2 and down strength. So you can't really blame him for making the 1 dice that got a power and a Kaz. Or a KO. I think it was a KO. And ultimately, I guess if Spartako loses, he'll be kicking himself for that hole that he left. I mean, he can't wizard this turn, can he? If that had been this one. I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure I like this. I think Adam has got these guys in, but he wants to be able to reposition, doesn't he, if he can. But now is certainly the time for the Dwarves to just get 2D'd all the time. Because ultimately, they don't really care, do they? It's every block has just got a chance of failing now. Get that new sausage. Oh Lord. Is he going to block with this guy to get the guard in here? That seems sensible. Wow, this blitzer's on 11. What has he even done? Has he made like 3 cars? Has he made all 3 cars on this one blitzer? That's unbelievable. Wow. It's got to get him forward, hasn't he? I guess here is just the same as here, because it's not here. If you see what I mean with him being there with 5. This is better Blood Bowl really than what he was doing before, because you would make this. Maybe it's not actually. But if this was a blocker, like I know he's a lineman, but if this was a blitzer, you'd make this block, trusting that you wouldn't get the 1 in 36. But now, because you know it's just a straight 1 in 9 to fail, he's doing it all properly. And even if it's a blitzer, he'd have moved these guys first, because the 1 in 36s are absolutely. There you go. There you go. The 1 in 36s can absolutely happen right now. Still don't think you can bolt here, because even if he blocks him out, what does he do? He can't really get in with this guy in the way. Yeah. Oh, bad time to use the wizard. But a terrible wizard there. Absolutely terrible wizard. I mean, and it was a 1. But now he doesn't have the threat. What was it? How was he? What was he going to do here? That was a bad wizard. Right. Yeah, exactly, Demaster. Yeah. Yeah. That's what you get for sitting field too. Yeah, it wasn't going to do a whole lot. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty safe. If this guy had been cast, no, it's still not very good. I think it was a terrible wizard. Yeah, I think it was. I think he's already got the opportunity to collapse the cage here. You know, he can blitz here, put guard in here, block him, move these guys in. He can already collapse the cage a bit. He doesn't need to use it this turn. Like, what does he do? A 1 dice? Like, he can't even 1 dice this guy because he's got guard. So you blitz him and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, dodge on a 3+, dodge on a 3+, pick it up on a 3+, and then dodge to here and get 2 dice or something. I mean, there wasn't. Yeah, I think that was a very bad wizard, Squirreldude. I think it was a terrible wizard, honestly. If your argument is that he's an agility 4 dodge show hands, then he should have done it on turn 11, like I said. On turn 11, he had 2 dice on 2 black orcs, and that was a great time to use it. This one is just a bit meh. Like, he still gets to do this turn, doesn't he? Put him on there. I would have put him on there and then moved him in here. Personally, I think he should have moved him up onto him. I mean, you know, if he had moved him here, and him here, and him here, he's still in a great position for where does he go next to him, the threat of the wizard. Yeah, the wizard. It could have been used on turn 14, yeah. He could have maybe used it the turn before, though. It was a possibility, wasn't it? Wow, this absolute madman. If you're going to do that move, there, you have to move this guy into here. And then move this guy there. Or this guy. Whichever one it was. Yeah, this guy. How did you not move him into there? If he moved him here and him here, that would have been a great move. So he's definitely made a mistake. He could have been there. Now it's just a 2D, isn't it? Of course, he could have won in 9 it. Look how much better this play is if he's got the wizard now, you know? That's why I don't think that's why I think it was a bad wizard. Everyone knocked down. See, if he hadn't used the wizard, and obviously I know it fizzled anyway. But even if it hadn't fizzled, let's imagine it. You know, let's imagine that he didn't use it here. He blitzes him. How on earth does he defend the ball? So that would have made him take riskier plays to protect it, even though the wizard would have failed in the end. Yeah, it held up well at first, the armor. It was only late in the second half. Yeah, bearded elves are pretty powerful. Wow, can you imagine how good it would have been if you'd moved this guy to here? And this guy here, you would have been, Spartako would have been done. I think you're doing pretty done. You'd have had to like make a dodge with this guy to blitz him or something ridiculous, and then not using the wizard as well. Yeah, one on the wizard does always feel so harsh. Yeah, absolutely. 150k is a lot of skills or players. Playing straight or 1 in 9 now, isn't it? Well, the way does he move the ball? Oh, he gets him. He hasn't got ball. No AV break. Sad times. Foul up carrier. He can't really go here. He's got to run away from him. Could go to here. No, he could only get to here. Make a block here and a block here or here. If this is a power. I mean, if he had a wizard still, if he hadn't used that wizard that turn, this would be an absolute nightmare for him, wouldn't it? Like, it's still a nightmare, but it would be an absolute nightmare now. Foul the ball carrier gives you a hidden +1. That's a well-known fact on FUMBL. Not gone too far. That's fair enough, I guess. That's obviously the safer play, isn't it? Because he's got this could 1 in 9 and stuff, and you don't want to get served. He doesn't have to potato downfield, but that push, that's not actually bad, is it? He's got 2 assists. Oh no, he doesn't have 2 assists. Pretty bad push. I hope he gets to block him. He's got to risk the blocks right now because it's engineering another block, isn't it? It stops him getting swamped if he gets the knockdowns. He's got to risk it for a biscuit at this point. No, I don't think the 4+1D is a play here, really. It could be. But again, if he had the wizard, he could still just be playing for time a bit, couldn't he? Whereas now he's got to start to think about, like, if he goes for this 4+ for the 1D, then I don't know. It's pretty trash because he's got to move this guy in to cancel his assist. I don't like it. What else could he do now? Just move him in here. 2D him. 2D him. He hasn't even cancelled this assist. He didn't even cancel this assist first, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5th square hitting him. Terrible. Now he's lost. Now he's lost. What an absolute madman. He deserves to lose. I hope he loses now, because that play was garbage. Absolute fucking garbage. But it's the pressure, isn't it? I guess it's the pressure. That was crazy. I mean, he could have just moved this guy in here, 2D'd him, 2D'd him, done 2Ds here. That was crazy. And he doesn't even have the wizard to back it up. You can make a super strong cage here, pretty much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Block it off there. Get these guys out in front. Wow. He did roll a 1 phase, yeah, but it just wasn't a risk he needed to take, was it? At all. That was not a risk he needed to take. And now he's to use his last reroll on that. I mean, what was he thinking? What was he actually thinking there? He could have moved these guys in, moved this guy around. You could have even moved him around for an assist or something. But that was. That was crazy. You could have at least moved first. The double one would have been a failed Dauntless for the first thing, and the second thing it would have been a skull with whatever else he blocked the Black Orc with. So. Yeah, mine, it does look like it. You know, it looks like he's lost now, doesn't it? The thing is, he can't block with him. He'd like to block with him, wouldn't he? Oh, he's got this guy free as well. I mean, he just had too much to lose by doing that. Yeah, the second half it looked like. But I mean, I guess you've got to credit Spartako with playing great to keep himself alive. But I mean, he got very lucky that turn where he switched to here, and he got a stun here, and he made this dodge. And I know it's a 3+ roll, and he failed 2+ and 3+ in other situations. But that was a crucial dodge to make, and a crucial stun as well. And then I think Mr. Light misplayed, because I would have blocked over there and got players in here, and he didn't do that. He blocked there, and he just didn't. He couldn't get enough men over. You know, that's the thing, isn't it? Movement 4. He just couldn't really cope with the situation. Yeah, I think Spartako. This is a 3 dice now, isn't it? Yeah. And then that solves the fact that he'll be pushing him. Now he gets to chain him away. This is a great 3DB now. That was a really nice move. Oh, it's not doing it. I would have completely done a 3DB there. Yeah, honestly, I think the right turn to use the wizard was like turn 9 or 10 or something. I think, not turn 9, turn 10. I think it was turn 10, where he had easy 2 dice on 2 Black Orcs, and then obviously if he'd powered, I think that maybe would have been the 10. But as it happened, he rolled it, it fizzled anyway, so if he'd used it on turn 14, which obviously was the favourite by a lot of people, it still kind of wasn't good enough, was it? Yeah, I would have made this 3 dice, and then that would have a POW would even not a POW, it would have chained the guard away, wouldn't it? But then I guess his guard would have been freed up, and this way the guard is still in contact. I guess that's what he was thinking. Keep the guard in contact, where you can't do as much damage. This isn't base everyone offense. This is base everyone defense, wasn't it? Really? I think base everyone defense is better than base everyone offense. No, I think this was a really bad place. This was a really bad time to use the wizard. The time when he actually used the wizard, I think, was really bad. The time before on turn 10, the runner could have got the ball easily. This was a lot of rolls to get the ball if he did this. But obviously the turn 14 one there, he couldn't really get the ball, but it would have made the score very hard if he powered him, wouldn't it? So yeah, I think he had to have made the fact that he hadn't used the wizard before it, he had to have used it on turn 14. It was pretty unbelievable he didn't. But I guess he was thinking, it's overtime, and he'd rather have the wizard for overtime. And of course, he wins the toss in overtime, and he's got a wizard. He's pretty much done. Yeah, I didn't like that block. That's why I'd have made this 3 DB. And now you're getting a reliable block out of Black Orc instead of a risky one. Can make the GFIs if he wants. He obviously won't. 1D into a -2. Never punished. I mean, he didn't have much options now, many options now, did he? Unlike the other turns. Wow, dwarf dodge. What a random guy. Why make that 1 dice block first? If you're going to make the dodge, just make the dodge. I guess he made the blocks so now that he can't free one or something. I don't know. He could just make the GFI as he wants, but he's just going to blitz with the blitzer, isn't he? And then run down, have a bit of a sideline cage. He might make the 2 GFIs. It's worth thinking about making the 2 GFIs because he's got all these players back. It might be worth it. Like, it seems crazy to make the GFIs, but ultimately, if you think your opponent's going to stop you scoring if you don't, it's not the worst thing, is it? Like, you could sideline cage here, but just not having any roll, it's interesting. It feels horrible though. Like, if he had the reroll, you would go the GFIs, wouldn't you? Oh yeah, the 3+. 2 plus is easy to 1 3+. But of course, if you fail a handoff, you haven't just fallen over in the end zone or something. But 2 dice block is a 1 in 36 to fail. And the Black Orc is a 1 in 27 to fail. So he's going to make the blitz with a black blocker, absolutely. Yeah, there was no consideration for 3 dice there. Also, this guy would have then moved and you had to blitz with a Black Orc, and then where would he go if it's a push? You know, it was not a good idea to do that. I guess he could have come here, but then, you know, this way he gets the sideline cage if he wants. It's worth thinking about. Like, you kind of condition in Blood Bowl to do like the safest things, and it's like interesting because when you're kind of in this kind of situation, it's like, I'm reading chat here and getting sidetracked. Yeah, where was my train of thought here? Yeah, because you're conditioned to always make like the safe play, as it were. There come situations where it's not really worth it. Like where Spartako based the ball carrier, it was a 1 in 36. Who cares? It's not going to work. So, and like the way Mr. Light defended over here, ultimately Spartako just needed a 3-2-2 to score, with 2 chances of rolling 3+ as well. So, whereas if he'd just been ballsier and done some crazy 6+ dodge, it would have been better. Oh, he's gone for the GFIs. Is he? He's got to now, I think, after making this base here rather than making the cage. If he dodges this and fails, he's just done. because it's a block and then 2 players free, including the guard, so he can't dodge. He's going to block, so maybe he's just going to move to here. Wow. But these 2 are here. He's going to have to score. He's got to go for the touchdown. He has to. There's literally nothing else. I guess he's not. Wow. Well, this is what I was saying, said the coach. That's exactly why he should risk it, because the safe play is not safe. Did it? Wow. Unbelievable, Jeff. Well, you know, the safe play was to not make those GFIs. However, if he hadn't made those GFIs, it was just like a 2D with block. You know, a 1 or 2Ds with block to get a 1 or 2D on the ball, and giving up a 1D on the ball is worse odds than making those 2 GFIs, isn't it? The maths did come into it there, so you got a line up. C7 arm breaks to 6, so it wasn't crazy, and 2 to 4 was pretty crazy. 4 and 1 from 6 AV breaks. I'd like that every time I played Dwarfs. 76 blocks to 53. Wow. Unbelievable, Jeff. So you can't really complain about taking 4 Ks when you've given up 76 blocks. But I guess there was the extra half, wasn't there? And he was on offense. And he was basing him on defense. So yep, there's at least one Orc. Isn't that great? It won't be 4 Dwarves. Absolutely fantastic.